My dear brothers and sisters, Merry Christmas. That's enough for what we want to say to one another. But God has more than just Merry Christmas to say to you. If you are aware, during Christmas, there is 4 sets of prayers and readings. One, which is called Vigil Mass, which could have been celebrated before midnight. Another set of prayers and readings for midnight Mass. Another set of prayers and readings for dawn, early morning Mass. And now we're celebrating during Christmas Day Mass. Why the church had inquired 4 different sets of prayers and readings? Because Christmas is not a merely celebration of an event, but it is a feeling, life experience of each living beings. Therefore, each moment we have different feeling. You could have felt a little tired last night because of long day at work. You could have felt exhausted had you come to the midnight Mass and the downtown was packed and crowded. You could have been sleepy to come to 6 o'clock Mass after a night long celebrating Réveillon. But now, this is a very good time for us to come together. Many Vietnamese I recognize attending this Mass also because the timing is very convenient for them. But for many of you, this is still early morning because you just got up like half an hour before Mass. So I want you to look back or reflect if there has been a night when you could not sleep well. Did you long for the sun to rise? If you had an experience of being hospitalized, laying on the bed, looking at your loved one who is taking care for you, but sleeping, and you don't want to wake that person up. The caretaker was sleeping, and the patient cannot. Then they watch the watch. And the second tick, 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 tick. You wait until the morning. Had you have that feeling, experience? Or if you have a loved ones coming from Europe, taking the early flight and landing about 6 o'clock in the morning, and that night you could not sleep because you wait until the morning and take the car and go to the airport and pick up somebody. All of that experience or feelings, if it had happened, it's gone. How long have you not gone to the airport picking up somebody? Probably entire of the year. No travels, no arrivals. But the one who stay up at night, for them, the morning is the destination, is the arriving point. If you went around the downtown city or you had a réveillon late at night and went home early in the morning, like 1 or 2 o'clock, you could have seen the workers, janitorial workers, work overtime on the street, pick up the trash, sweeping the street. And what they had wait for, morning, so they can go home. And for those who are in most need of money, they would take the second shift to work more and to get more money. That is the longing, the waiting of people. But the main point, historic, the one that made Christmas the popular celebration of the entire world was that had been waiting for many years. If you went to the visual mass last night and read the readings, it had been 28 generations that could have been counted before the arriving of Jesus Christ. So what we have been waiting, each one of us know what we have been waiting. But Archbishop of our city had been waiting if it had been another social distancing before Christmas. Imagine if the social distancing had been ordered for this city, no one can sit here. Many of our friends and relatives living in other countries still have some restrictions to come together. But we are packed now. We close to one another now. But do we really stay close to one another? Do you know the person next to you, his and her feeling? Maybe you look at his eyes and face, you can feel that he's sleepy and yawning, but what that person really felt, we don't know. Pope Francis asked us, this is a very unique, unprecedented, and historic Christmas, because in the world with peace, the world with the war, some people cannot go to church. That is the message as well for the gospel that I proclaim to you. Jesus came into the world, but there was some restriction from other people that they did not recognize, they did not go to him. Therefore, Pope Francis asked, celebrating this Christmas, be mindful of the silence. Don't just go to the nativity display for photo taking and selfie and check-in. Those are good. But do more than that. Look at the baby Jesus. Look at his infirmity. Look at the situation of helpless that Joseph and Mary had to undertake during that night. Nobody helped. Nobody welcomed. They were on their own. How many people living in our times that when they seek out, receive no help? How many times we pass by a person standing on the street selling something, waiting for the generosity to have something to eat, to have a bite of food to survive. Sometimes we don't care. But this pandemic year teaches us we need to be a caring person. First for ourselves. I see the way you sanitize your hands, the way you prepare for your face mask. you are caring not only for yourselves but also for the community. We need to stop whatever way we can do this pandemic so that the world, so that our community, so that our city, our family, our business can go back to the normal. It had been not normal year. And it was not a normal night as well when Jesus was born. Why? Why such event was not normal? Because in human eyes, Jesus was God. Jesus was the King. Jesus could have been welcomed more than any country leaders. But nobody welcomed him. That was abnormal. And a God who wanted to be a human person was not normal as well. If you pay attention, the collect prayer that I read, the opening prayer, we ask God that we can share in His divinity as He had shared in our humanity. That's the formula that the priest, the presider, when you see he prepare for the offering, for the second part of the Eucharist, he put a little wine into the chalice, the cup, sacramental wine, sacred chalice, sacred cup, not any other cup that you can take from the kitchen. And he put a little water in that. And he's supposed to read silently, "May we come to share your divinity, of whom share our humanity." So the water and the blood shares together. That's a normal. For what reason God wanted to be a human being? Ask yourself, if you experience being a mom, having a child who gets sick and fever. Your child was crying and you don't know why he cries. His body gets fever, his nose sneezing, his eyes full of water, and you don't know why. Then at that moment, what could you wish? I wish I can take it so that you don't have to carry it. So if you experience your parents in the hospital who dying with pain, with suffering, you wanted to be that person so that you can care for that person. You can take the yoke, the pain, the suffering of that person. That is love. Only love can ask for something that people cannot understand. Only love. So Pope Francis concludes, Christmas is the celebration of love, not the celebration of shopping, but love. So I would like to invite you for today, at least today, do something to share with others the message of God is love. Even just a little action, just a little further work to help your co-workers, just a little more energy to do more chores, to help your spouse or your children. Last night, here at this podium, Archbishop Joseph gave a homily and he told this story. There is a good husband. I think he was an entrepreneur who travels a lot. So each time when he travels, he tries to buy some gift for his wife. And each time when he travels, his wife very happy because she will have more gifts. So that time, on that trip, he could not find anything that he could be happy with to buy for her. And then he was so exhausted because she was disappointed upon his coming home. But then he said, why do I have to buy things that less valuable than myself? Then he stopped searching, went direct to the gate, boarding, flew home. Then his wife, as normal, gave him a hug and said, honey, where's my gift? He said, I am. And the wife looked at him, really? They did not recognize the one who was with them. The wife did not recognize the being of her husband is the gift, treasure. The husband did not recognize that his presence had been so important for her that no gift, no money, nothing can purchase. Therefore, God wants to be with us. God wants us to know how much He loves us and how important He is for us. So do not ignore Him. Welcome Him. Welcome Him and welcome everyone, because He has come for the world without any exclusion. With our joy for Christmas, with our gratitude for Christmas, let us stand and profess our faith.